So let's end this lecture with the psychology of resisting persuasion, involving many tips on how you may be able to resist unwanted persuasion. The most powerful one may be exposure control. We have a lot more control than what you might think. Those who can afford it, first off, can pay for premium television channels with no commercial interruptions. However, even if money is an issue, you can still limit your exposure by leaving the room, changing the channel, not listening to the ad or watching it, or otherwise disengaging. I personally like to buy my TV watching time by using all the commercial breaks to conquer a list of physical tasks, such as taking out the trash, cleaning components in my kitchen and bathroom, taking a 5-minute run around the block, watering the plants, etc. Remember what a strong inoculation effect counter-arguing can be? You don't have to wait for others to voice counter-arguments. You can use commercials as a trigger to hone your counter-arguing skills. And you can even make an amusing game out of it if you're watching TV with others. See who can generate the best reasons to doubt the claims and/or not buy the product. Have you ever walked into a store and had a salesperson immediately jump all over you when all you wanted to do was browse, so you turned around and left? The salesperson is blocking your goal, restricting your freedom. Hard sales are a turnoff to many consumers, causing what we call in psychology reactance. When people block your goals and restrict your freedom in this way, many people react with something called reactance. Reactance is a term for the tendency to rebel and do the opposite of what you are being pressured to do. If it is hard for you to walk out on the salesperson, you can still avoid this situation by testing the waters when you first enter the front of a store, then slipping out quickly if you see a salesperson bearing down upon you. In other words, you can restrict your shopping to stores that do not train their salespeople in this manner. Finally, if you suspect that your judgment has been influenced in any unwanted way, maybe by a salesperson or by an ad or by the word free or the chance to try something for free, in other words, the ownership effect, remove yourself from the situation and allow yourself a chance to cognitively correct. Remove the bias from your judgment before making a purchase decision. So, removing yourself from that situation and giving yourself time to think first to cognitively correct. So we just covered some great ways to resist persuasion. Here are some more tips derived from other material you learned in this lecture. Okay, tip number 1. Before falling for the scarcity effect, check a shopping comparison website or app to make sure that that scarcity claim is a reality rather than a marketing-induced illusion, right? Number 2, inoculate yourself. Remember, counter-arguing. So if you find yourself being influenced by a certain marketing tactic, let's just say nighttime Snickers bar ads, for example, and you find yourself being influenced in ways you later regret, inoculate yourself. As the evening approaches, write or talk about how the arguments are weak. There's much lower fat ways of getting a little protein, right? Or how the arguments are flat out illogical. Get real. Eating a Snickers bar does not change your personality. And list reasons or why you are better off not buying the bar. Tip number 3. Never try on clothing or jewelry or test drive cars that you cannot afford. And the tendency is to think, oh, what's the harm? It'll just be fun. But it can be very dangerous to set yourself up this way for a regrettable decision prompted by what effect? Do you remember? The ownership effect. So this concludes our Attitudes and Persuasion lecture in consumer psychology. And here is your next guerrilla marketing example. Very fun.